almost 50% of the people who live in Toronto were born elsewhere. And so it makes the city handmade for interfaith interactivity, you know.
We don't have to be like Paris or England or Washington or any other place. We can be ourselves. This is the gift, that we can be who we are and show another way of living.
There are, on any given day, 140 different languages spoken in the city of Toronto, which is incredible. And the fact that it even works is even more incredible. So when you have good interfaith relationships, I think it's a great tribute to the city of Toronto.
I'm a Buddhist, and I'm also a Christian, and because I believe in Jesus Christ. I'm a born Canadian, and I grew up throughout my life, and I'm very spiritually motivated by Jesus Christ and with Buddha.
As God said in the Quran, we create mankind for the reason to know one another deeply and interact and serve one another, because one community should know the others and feel the pain and suffering, and also share the joy and the happiness together.
We are all inspired by the same divine essence, one God, and that religions are one. And so we embrace all the religions. And so a multi-faith involvement is just a natural for the Baha'i community.
There's actually a 120-year-old history, because in 1893, the first World Parliament of Religions in Chicago had Torontonians there, and it's the year the first interfaith organization was formed, and Canadians were involved in that. Later, in 1938, there was an interfaith rally in Toronto against the Kristallnacht program in Germany and Austria. In the 70s and 80s, there were more and more interfaith organizational activities, and in the last 20 years that I've been involved, it has really grown to a great amount.
Everybody's issues are very similar, so when the discussion is taking place, it's very interesting, and we can all be part of it, a bigger community that we can serve.
The great moment of opening, it was about 20 years ago, and they were celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Peace Garden. And it was working with this collection of people, and there was such a tremendous enthusiasm that we said, let's keep going. And what was born out of that was the people who wanted to no longer live over here or over there, but start working together, realizing that we've come to a point in our understanding that there are many pathways to God. I mean, there always was. We go through these periods, we're excited about each other, then we run away. And I think we're back at that. Planets are aligning, and we're listening, and not shout at each other about how right we are, but listen how we can learn from each other. And perhaps when we think of what happened with the ice storm, and one of the great moments was when Baruch Freeman Cole, Rabbi Beth Tzedek, emailed me on Christmas Eve, or Christmas season, and said, our synagogue is open. We would like to invite any Christian church that needs a place to come and celebrate Christmas. And I shared that with the group and reminded them. And most people would say, wasn't that a nice thing? No, this is more than a nice thing. This is a profound moment of grace and compassion.
interfaith activity opens you up to listening and wanting to know more about what other people's values are, and therefore it necessarily requires you to examine your own. And I think in that regard, it draws you deeper into your own faith commitment.
You know, Interfaith is an interesting vehicle. I mean, it brings together a bunch of people that you would normally think, because of different values, might be bitterly opposed to working together. But you get them all in the room together, and their main goal is to bless mankind.
You can see the essence of the religions all being the same, the people having the same belief and concern about humanity and caring for them, and that our responsibility and service to them is of the ultimate importance.
Over the last few years, we have really tried very hard to see how we can all work together, and that is the beauty of Toronto.
We are a beacon, we are a role model, we are the shining example that yes, people of different faiths can get along, we can make this thing work, we don't have a choice in the matter now, increasingly we really have to find common ground. And I think Toronto is the yardstick now that all other countries and cities should be inspired by, should be measured by, and should be, should follow our footsteps.
So long, farewell, I'll forever be the same. Good night. Good night.